Hello, everyone, and welcome to take three, technically, of episode six of the Red Sea podcast. This is Dennis, as always, coming to you from Greece. This is one of the early ones, uh, as most of you know, and most of you showed full understanding, and I appreciate that a lot. Uh, I did try to do this show yesterday twice, but audio problems were too much, so yeah, this couldn't happen. It was too chaotic. So we're here now. I hope everything's okay. If you notice a difference in quality, I am recording from my phone just to check if it's better. If you notice me looking that way, it is because I have the broadcast studio open on my uh, laptop, either way. So yeah, I think that's it. Do confirm if the audio is okay, if you can, in the comments, and I'll get started with the usual. Of course, do follow what the banner is saying. Uh, the show is of course here, so if you have liked what you've seen, and if you do like what you see, please like and subscribe. The the podcast is also on Spotify, in which the episodes go up. I'd say like 2 3 hours after. Uh, of course, Instagram and Twitter are also up for the show, and they have been getting some amazing support. So I thank you all so much. I thank you all truly so much. And last but not least, the show is on TikTok. So once again, thank you all so much for the support there as well, because especially the views on TikTok on all the videos that go up are overwhelmingly positive. So thank you all once again so much. Uh, yes, so do follow whenever and wherever you want, if you, of course, like what you see. Uh, Also, as always mentioned, the link to join the show will always be in the comments. So if you do want to join and share an opinion, share a question, uh, on shows like this, where of course we are here to celebrate some historic victories. You can join in and share your positivity. On other days, you can join in and share your negativity. All is welcome and all is non judged. We are here, of course, to not judge anyone. I am here to provide a platform for, uh, of course, Olympiacos fans and in general football and sports fans to feel unjudged. So yeah, I think that's about it for the rambling. I got through it as quickly as I could. uh, let's get started, shall we? Um, I do want to start with. Um, I do want to start with yesterday. Pretty sure I want to start with yesterday, where, of course, as you all know, the under 19s of Olympiacos got a historic win on penalties against Land, and with the star man, of course, as in two of the games, being once again the goalkeeper, Angelo Sina, uh, and we won 3-1 on penalties. Uh, Sina, of course, taking the perfect example of uh, Zolakis, and just keeping us in it and getting us through. to our first ever European final, which is still so crazy to say. It's absolutely crazy to say. Of course, the under 19s team is the first team to have ever qualified in football for us in a European semi-final before the men's team got the absolutely incredible uh, qualification against Fener, which we will talk about later. Uh, and now it's the first team to have ever qualified for the European final that will be played in 2 days against, as we now know, AC Milan. AC Milan's under 19s did qualify against Porto in honestly what I would call even a shocking fashion. Porto, of course, for many and for me, were the favorites to win this competition. The only team in the final four to have won the competition before this year. So yeah, without wanting to get too ahead of myself per se, I I do wanna just congratulate the team, and I do just want to take me the team and process that we have actually witnessed history. We have witnessed history that we may not witness for honestly even years to come. And we just have to congratulate the boys. Each and every one of them has just proven us so wrong. Uh, or so right, depending on what everyone believed. And of course, I do want to start with the man aforementioned, and that is Angelos Sina. Uh, the keeper that, aside the penalties, made some incredible saves. And I want to even point out some one-on-ones that he managed to get out, and even some very good shots from the opposing side, playing a massive part in keeping a clean sheet, and of course on the penalties, uh, in which, as it seemed, he did have notes, uh, because as everyone saw, he did before every penalty Nand went on to take. He did look at a paper he had behind the net. So as it seemed, similar to Jolakis once again, he did study, and he did study well enough to get us that amazing qualification. Now, not to focus too much on one single player because it's honestly too unfair to everyone to focus on a single player. Uh, I do want to move on after, of course, congratulating Nisman once again. I do want to move on to, I think, one of the most class and one of the purely quality players that we have in the academy, and that is Papacanelos. Papacanelos, of course, just going absolutely viral for uh, his his execution goal against uh, against Bayern, where we in the previous game where we just played them out the park. Uh, and just once again showing his absolutely amazing quality, uh, with focus on that clip I did share on Twitter as well, uh, where he just pulled off a karate kick, like control, jumping up in the air and just getting the ball down, similar to someone like Marcelo. I I dare to say even someone like Marcelo. Uh, so yeah, what's there to say, honestly? What's there to say? Um, no. Uh, just one of the players that will surely end up uh, going to preseason with the men's team. I would say so. So yeah, moving on from that, I do want to go on, and of course, focus on our own star boy, the player that's been reported for a while now, and I think it's a certainty now that uh, Medellíbar stays, uh, that he will join the first team as third choice striker next season, and of course, join pre-season, and that is Babis Kostoulas. Babis Kostoulas is a man that, if it wasn't for his brother's handball, would have scored the winning goal yesterday. Of course, in the 45th, uh, goal getting cancelled for his brother's handball. Um, yeah, a kid that has just absolutely shined this season. A kid that was wanted, I remind you, by Bayern Munich, but we did reject any offer that came through. And yeah, just all the attention and all the praise is so deserved. I just hope, same with Papaganello, same with Sina, and same with every one of these, every part of this, honestly, golden, absolutely golden generation. I just hope we treat them well. I just hope the Greek media doesn't just kill them with pressure, and I just hope that we do manage. I hope we do manage them properly. Now, uh, moving on to the last player I really want to focus on. Of course, I could go on for players like Tanulis, Murakitis, uh, everyone, honestly. I could go through all of these kids, but it's just a massive total congratulations, and I would love to talk to all of them someday, maybe have them on here, get their thoughts on everything, get their mindset on everything. But yeah, that will come as time goes on. Now, moving on from that and going on to a man that lived two historic qualifications and traveled through half a continent within 24 hours. And of course, I am talking about Isidoros Kousidis. Uh, Isidoros, of course, was part of the men's team as backup if needed in the centre back position, and the giant, not in posture but also in mentality, may have not taken part in the actual game against Fenerbahce, but did warm up and train normally with the first team, and of course celebrate that qualification to the semi-finals, which we will end up talking about very soon. And just as he said in the post-match interview yesterday, he did go on and thank the team for providing him with a hotel near the airport, so he could get in 2 3 hours of sleep. Excuse my cough. So he could get in 2 3 hours of sleep, and then he did. managed to eat something and immediately flew to Switzerland to join the starting 11 of the academy team. And just if also the goal was cancelled, he could have even registered an assist. Incredible game. It's incredible game is an understatement for what he did. Incredible mentality and just as he said, the adrenaline from celebrating the two absolutely insane European qualifications was just through the roof, and you can't do nothing but congratulate him. Uh, Now, moving on to a man that doesn't like to take credit for himself, but we just need to give him credit. The unsung hero of all of this, the man that has been coaching and bringing up the stage, making them a team, making them the stars they are, and making them into the mentality giants that do deserve the opportunity to lift a European trophy and celebrate. Uh, Being the first Greek team to win European trophy, and that is Sotiris Silaidopoulos. Silaidopoulos, of course, set to join Mendilibar's team next season, if I'm not mistaken. And he did say that he's so glad that the team qualified and that his 3 year story with them went end with him in the stands. Of course, Silaidopoulos wasn't coaching uh, due to the. I don't even know what to characterize that card, but yeah. Uh, so honestly, just couldn't be happier for him. Uh, he did go on and say that he's incredibly happy for the team. Uh, and seeing that even without him on the bench, they have learned everything well enough to go on and get such a win. But of course, him being purely humble doesn't stop us from just realizing what he's done for the team. And how do I say this? Molding, molding them into a team. And he deserves for his story with the academy to end with a European trophy as much as all of the players deserve for his story, for their story. This year's story to end with a European trophy. Uh, of course, there is some words he said as well that I do want to focus on, which do entail that if the results aren't the most important thing to him and the team, and he said that the most important thing is that, for example, Isidoros was part of the men's team uh, with the game against Fener, that Jolakis, who is another kid, of course, that came through the academy, was the hero against Fenerbahce, and that Ndoye, who's been in our academy for so many years, gets a lot of minutes in general, but of course had such uh, a brave and good performance against Federer. He just went on to say that he's proud of each and every one of the boys, and you just have to applaud that. You can see that he wants to take no credit away from anyone, and he wants to push even his credit onto each and every one of the team. And you just have to applaud that, and I can't wait to see what the future brings with him as part of the men's team. Uh, Now, I will transition into the game against Fenerbahce very soon, but I do want to speak about another man and congratulate him like he deserves to be congratulated. Uh, and in my opinion, a man who is another unsung hero of the academy, and that is, of course, Jose Anigo. Jose Anigo, who did yet a stint as first team coach in that chaotic era last year. Uh, and of course, didn't do incredibly, but of course, he's also not a coach. Jose Anigo has been working with the academy for many years as well, and he has simply done an incredible job as well. And he's another man that doesn't get nearly enough credit for what he does. So, closing off with the the academy, um, just need we need to support them. And if they do, if they do get the victory on Monday, we need to treat them with a hero's welcome, like we have the men's team many a time, like we did the men's team when they came back from the qualification against Fener. And while I wasn't in the Post Alemania or in the airport to celebrate that, if it happens, I will definitely make sure to be there when they hopefully bring the trophy home. And I do believe it. I do believe that they can bring the trophy home. Uh, so yeah, before I actually transition into the the game, I do want to bring something up. And the thing I do want to bring up is wait. Um, I'm struggling a bit. Do give me a second if you can. I do want to see if I can get it up from the laptop because I do want to talk about all the European success that the team has been having this season because we can't uh, overlook the greatness that this club has brought us, and we can't overlook the the insanity, honestly, that is because we are in contention, if I'm not that mistaken, for 7 European trophies. And I don't know anyone, any other club that can say that they are in contention for 7 trophies. uh, of course, the final. Of course, the final. Uh, and mm, if I can find it and bring it up. Of course, this is being done live as you know. Uh, if I can find it, I'll just read it off, of course. I do not seem to be able to actually find this, which is a shame. I do not seem to be able to actually find a way to bring it up, which is uh, a massive shame. But what I can do is uh, maybe I can bring it up here. Okay, I can. But what I can do is read it off to everyone. So, of course, as you all know, and as I said, the Youth League final is on Monday against AC Milan. So we do keep that uh, on our mind. But today uh, is the women's water polo game against uh, Mataró in the final four. Uh, Today also is the first semi-final of the men's handball uh, European journey against Ferencvaros. April 23rd is also the quarter-final phase of the men's water polo European journey against Ferencvaros as well. April 24th and 26th are the two games in Barcelona for the first two games in Barcelona for the EuroLeague playoffs. Uh, April 30th is the third game, the first home game, reminding you we are in a we are in a home field disadvantage situation against Barcelona, having finished uh, fifth, and we do need a break. We really need a break in there, but that is a conversation for a different day. We will get into the the European games, the EuroLeague games soon enough. I would love to have someone on here, but I do want to shout out uh, the boys from Red Point Garden. Uh, they post amazing analysis and have some incredible opinions. So do please go follow them for anything Olympiacos basketball you may need. Uh, and then May 2nd, to start off May 2nd, is the fourth game, if needed, which will probably be needed against Barcelona for the EuroLeague. And the same day after the basketball game is the first leg of men's uh, the men's team, the Conference League semi-final in Birmingham against Aston Villa. Then is the quarter-final for water polo against Barceloneta, the quarter-final phase, the second game. Then, if needed, it's game 5 of Barcelona versus Olympiacos in the EuroLeague. Uh, we are hoping for a 1-3. I am hoping for a 1-3, so I hope game 5 is not needed. Uh, then, May 9th, it's the return leg, the leg I will be there. So, if any of you hear this and want to come say hi, I will probably be at gate 19. I will update on that, but I will probably be at gate 19. Uh, and then it's the third game of the men's water polo journey against Brescia. So we need to support this team because this team has given us so much happiness, and this team has given us so much. And this team is a family, and we need to support this family even at the highest, like we are right now, or even at the lowest, like we were last year, for example, or even under Carvajal. Uh, so yeah, that's my opinion. Now, now. Uh, the show is not gonna be as long as it was meant to be, sadly, uh, because I do have no one on. So, if I miss some things, of course, we will get through the under 19s journey in general with the post game show for the final on Monday. And we will get through the the men's team journey for the pre-game show and of course post-game show for the semi-final, the two legs. I will do a show for both, probably two shows for each game, pre and post-game. I do not know if I'll be able to have anyone on. I'll try, but no promises. So, to start, I do want to start off and point out what Mashuras had said post game, and he said that this qualification is for Eleftheropoulos, it's for that goal night in Manchester, it's for Gerard's goal, and it's for Wolves. It's for every time history has done us dirty, and finally we got a historic qualification. Uh, of course, aggregate score 3-3 against Fenerbahce. We did lose the actual second leg 1-0, but that doesn't matter because the hero, 21-year-old Konstantinos Zolakis, who I always believed in, who most people always believed in, and I think even the people who doubted him now believe in him. A man who solidified his place as starting keeper of this team for years to come, in my opinion, uh, was the hero, was the absolute hero. I think, of course, every single Olympiacos fan was incredibly happy, including me, of course. Uh, but I think, personally speaking, I just remembered my 16-year-old self back in 2020. For those of you who don't know, I am 20 now. I have been watching football since my very young teens. First time I went to the stadium, it was in 2013. And I've been an Olympiacos fan all my life, but I seriously started watching football in 2014. I just remember my 16-year-old self crying his eyes out, walking home against that Wolves second leg on a very warm August uh, afternoon. I think it was August. It was the the COVID season, so I do forget. It was definitely summer. It was August 6th, yes, I remember perfectly. Where, in my opinion, we still got absolutely robbed in that in that time. But yes, I think once we qualified, I just cried of happiness. And I remembered that 16-year-old kid just cried his eyes out of frustration walking home from the cafeteria. And I just still can't believe it. I don't think it will feel real until May 2nd in the game in Birmingham. But we are in a European semi-final. That just seems insane to see for a club I've been supporting since I can remember myself. And I think we all need to just savor this and we all need to enjoy this and be proud of what the team has done. Especially after such a chaotic season. Especially after such a chaotic season. Uh, and there is a lot to talk about from a lot of players. So I think we should just savor the excitement and I'll get into it. Of course, the man of the moment, Cholakis being the absolute hero, saving three, nearly four penalties, uh, which of course one uh, he did save, but he did still end up going in. Uh, just what's there to say about this kid? Like from his debut, uh, 17 in Tuba, yeah, in that cup game for anyone who does remember, now being 21, being the hero of the team, and we better give him whatever he wants contract wise because we are settled uh, in the keeper position for so many years if he stays. I just really hope we renew, of course, Cholakis, Fortounis, and Mosouras. I hope we renew these three. Excuse my hiccups. I hope we renew these three very soon. Very, very soon. And yeah, of course, the scene with Jolagis and his father was just so heartwarming. Uh, Everyone celebrating with him. Fortunis being the main one that went up to him with pure and absolute joy. Uh, just was incredible to see. Every celebration was incredible to see. Uh, I do want to point out also Shapiris is just bursting out into Zebekiko in the hallways. Uh, there are words that we will keep this man as well, depending on Sporting's mood as well. So I hope we do. I really hope we do. I don't want to lose any pieces at all, but se- some pieces need to go from this year's team. But I hope we keep the main ones. But yeah, getting into the game analysis. Of course, Kavachi scored in the 11th minute, causing some panic in the team, but we did hold on perfectly well as it's shown. I'm sorry. Uh, I will get into his goal because he was desperately open, and with an incredible volley, he slots it past Jolakis. The goal was uncatchable. It was fully the defense's fault. I'm not going to blame Jolakis for it at all. Uh, I am gonna blame the man that got the yellow card a few minutes after, and that is Francisco Ortega, because the man has been awful lately. Like, let's not hide it. I'm not gonna be one of the people that say, "Oh no, he needs to go," but I do believe that Ortega needs competition. I believe Ortega needs competition, and I believe that that competition should come in the form of Omar Richard. Omar Richards, who has grabbed each and every opportunity that has been given to him. Omar Richards, who has been amazing every time he's played in his proper position. I'm not talking about that wild game at left wing he played against Panathinaikos. Uh, just Omar Richards, who there has been talk of him staying as a loanee for another year and starting over uh, Francisco Ortega. I believe that would do Ortega good. At least some rotation, just him seeing that he has competition to get more motivated to perform better. I think that would do him a lot of good. So yeah, aside that, of course, I will give him credit uh, in the ratings as well. And I I wasn't one of the people that was very confused when I ended up seeing him coming in. And that is I always get confused with his first name, and I don't know why. Vicente Bora, a man that came in for Stefan Jovetic. I still don't know the reason Jovetic got subbed out. Maybe it was strategic, maybe it was exhaustion, maybe it was anything. But Vicente Bora, a man that has been absolutely uh, fully experienced in European games like that. Reminder, the man has won 4 Europa Leagues. Uh, just changed the entire game. He was incredible. Almost scored the winner as well, very late with that header that ended up being an incredible save, honestly, from uh, Dominik Livakovic. But yeah, we'll get into that more very soon. Uh, then, of course, us holding on, full time ending 1-0, going into extra time, and near the end of extra time, Andreas Doi getting a red from a second yellow. And if you do want my opinion, it was never a second yellow. It was too harsh of a second yellow. Of course, the ref clearly uh, favoring Fender. But that's a whole different combo that's not worth having, given the game ended up how it ended up. But Endoy, along with Masuras, I'm pretty sure, uh, will miss the first leg against Aston Villa. Another man that will miss the first leg against Aston Villa that I would have completely forgotten to say if I didn't mention this, but we will talk about it in the pregame for Aston Villa, is Endoy. Not Endoy. Is the arguably their best player and the absolute star, Emiliano Martinez. So it will probably be Robert Olsen under the stage in Birmingham. Emiliano Martinez getting 2 yellows, one in regular time and one in um, the penalty shootout, which was a rule that I'm glad I'm not the only one who knew that regular time yellows don't carry over to the penalty shootout, and 2 yellows don't equal a suspension immediately. But it does equal a suspension for the first leg of our tie, which is very good. Then we had the penalties in which Ayub El Kabi uh, slotted his in. Then it was incredibly save number one by Konstantinos Zolaitis saving Tadic's uh, penalty. Then Livakovic gave us our first shock by saving Youssef El Arabi's penalty. I do not know if that's El Arabi's first penalty that has been saved uh, in his time here, or if it feels like that. But for me, definitely felt like that because I was shocked, as were many Olympiacos fans, I'm pretty sure. Then Michi Batshuayi makes it 1-1, then Orta makes it 1-2, then it's incredibly save number 2 by Kostas Cholakis, saving Under's penalty. Then Masura scores an absolute rocket of a penalty to make it 1-3. Then Zico makes it 2-3. Then it's one of the most unlucky penalties I've seen recently, at least, uh, with Rodinei, Rodinei's penalty being saved, hitting the crossbar, then bouncing, according to the ref, at least off the line twice. Uh, I don't know if it passed the line on the first bounce. It apparently didn't. No proper replay was shown, at least I didn't see one, but we move. Then Bonucci's penalty gets saved by Jolakis, making that 3 saves. Everyone's frozen because the ref was citing something. For the people that were watching on Greek TV, Thanalakis was frozen as well. But then the whistle blew, everyone went right on Jolakis. and the whole of Greece celebrated. We're in a European semi-final. As much as I say that, I won't believe it. Now, because I do have to make this a bit quick, hence why the show was going to be yesterday, I will get into the player ratings and end things off, uh, and come back on Monday to talk to you guys about the whole of the Academy's journey this year. Of course, starting off with the aforementioned hero, Konstantinos Zolakis, who played with veterans, coolness, and just showed an aura of confidence. As Masura said in the penalty shootout, um, of course, he gets a 10 and is the clear MVP in my eyes. Then moving on to Ortega, I did talk about Ortega. I didn't think he was good enough. He gets a 6 from me. He needs to improve, he really does. Uh, then my second MVP, a man that saved us multiple times in that game, uh, and that is David Carmo. Uh, Played amazingly in both games, and we need to find a way to keep that man. Then it's Andreas Doi. Doi, seen a lot of people criticize him. In my opinion, he fully pocketed Dzeko. Like, he didn't allow him to do anything. Uh, and I would love to see more of him. I keep preaching about wanting to see him in his natural position because, as people fail to remember, Endoi is a CDM, not a centre back. He got brought up in football as a CDM. But yes, as I was saying, Endoi got brought up in football as a CDM, and he's been doing the centre back role since last year, and he, in my opinion, once again has been doing great. Maybe he's not starting quality, I agree, but he needs, in my opinion, he has a place in the squad as a backup, but he has a place in the squad. Uh, Roddy, of course, being Roddy, great game once again. Uh, Not much to say. Both Endoy and Roddy. No, Endoy gets a 7 from me, and Roddy gets an 8. Carbo gets a 9 because I forget if I said it. And then moving on to our Robocop. Genuinely, a man that I will pose the question once again um, that I've posed in the past. A man that, in my opinion, is getting up there beyond Guillermo already. Uh, so I do want to know your guys' opinion. Is Chiquinho or Guillermo better? Uh, Chiquinho, a man that played multiple positions in the Fener game, uh, and just once again proved how class he is. Proves it each game, and in my opinion, will always prove it. And I'm so glad we have him and the man I'm gonna talk about for so long. Both of them get an 8. Both of them did amazingly, Chiquinho, both defensively and attackingly, and Eze especially defensively. Eze was everywhere in the game. So, yeah. Now, moving on to a man that gets a 7, moving on to a man that was slightly disappointing. Man, of course, got subbed out uh, in the 64th for Masura. That is Daniel Podence. Many people, including me, expected him to be the hero of the game, and he wasn't. I don't know if it was, once again, uh, fatigue, that if he hadn't played 2 games now. But yeah, um, as I said, he gets a 7. Now Stefan Jovetic got one half of football, but was the best player in the first half. Uh, he gets an 8 in my opinion. Fortounis showed up a lot in the second half, but had a very mediocre first. Of course, he got subbed off as well due to proper fatigue. The man was limping off the field. So he gets a 7.5. El Capi didn't really do much, but he held on the press a lot, so he gets a 7. Um, Vicente Iborra gets an 8, in my opinion. As I said, I got into Iborra's performance a bit earlier. He's made for these matches. He changed the whole midfield. Masuras gets a 7, not as good as the first game, but still very good. Richards gets a 7.5. For me, he was class once again for the minutes he got. Orton gets a 7, and El Arabi is more or less non-applicable because he got like 10 minutes of football total. So, and missed his penalty. So, yeah, just so happy. Some of the happiest memories I've had of the football fun. Uh, so, yeah, I think that's about it for today. Didn't have a lot of time today, as I said. So, yeah, see you all on Monday. And I hope I'll see you all on Monday, the European champions. If I do end up going to the celebration, the show will be on Tuesday. But I will, of course, put up video. So maybe even a YouTube video of it. So yeah, thank you all so much for the support.